Now, I have a segment that I do that basically talks about AU, specifically a segment called What Basically AU Took Over the Fandom, or something like that, in other words. And today we're going to talk about a AU from Digital Circus called The Office. Even that this one has not one but two creators. One, the original, didn't really fully commit it, and the other one was sort of copycat of the original and let it blow up. Even that the original was sort of a tribute from the original idea, unintentionally got more well known than the original creator. Even that the copycat gave the basically the props from the original idea and point the direction where she is if you want to see more of her stuff. But other than that, before I get started, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation through reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going, you like to help my channel, put a like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing that you do. If not, that's fine. If you do, thank you. Because of you, I'm getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And yes, I'm getting close every single day because of people like you. People who like, comment, and share. Thank you. Now, let's get started off. AAU almost took over the fandom. Now, how we gonna do this is pretty simple. The first is sort of basically give the idea what's a AAU because nobody really is nerd savvy. So sometimes they just don't know what that is. So I'm gonna explain that first. Second, the story origins. Third, the creation. Fourth, the sort of the story. Five is basically the characters, who they are, and the dynamics, and in the very end, my conclusion. That's basically how it's gonna go down this video. Now, let's start with the explanation. What is AU? AU, by definition, is basically another universe. This is created by fans who basically take the original idea or the original sort of formula of that famous AU they really like and reinterpret it a completely different way. Basically body swatching or changing dynamics or changing the complete time period or genre. And that's allowed a lot of fandom to sort of experiment to see what else can you do with these characters. It also led other fans to realize this AU actually exists, and the original IP points the direction to convince them to watch the original show. That's basically what an AAU really is. Of course, now let's start off the creator of who made this Pacific AAU. That will be Peekabody. If I'm saying her name correctly, she's the one who started, or not started, sort of copycat of the original. We get to her later. Is the fact Peekabody saw the idea of the original and ran away with it. The reason why is she sort of really liked the idea, but do some tweaks by her own, make it her own thing. Specifically, followed The Office even close, at least the original, not the original, the American Office, with Michael first time getting interviewed and getting the job in the original American version of it, reposting that Pomni got hired by Caine with this sort of comic book strip that recopying the same day that's Michael, but having Bestie Jax and Ragatha sort of making fun of the idea how she got hired and she probably sucks. And Ragatha just punched Jax. And that's what basically happened in the small comic strip of the copycat creator. Now, she does explain the story of this, her version of AU of The Office. Especially her spin is basically think of it sort of The Office, the American version, but sort of a Japanese sort of kind of feeling co-workers like you hear of the stories here in the West, what's going on in the East. And that's sort of the pitch of this, but even that, she does stint on her own quote. This is not her original idea. This is from Ed Summer, if I say her name correctly. Even that they put a link where she is. Her link on her Tumblr page is sort of blank for some apparent reason, so I don't know who she is or this is the right link. I got curious and hope I can find the original post. I did, but once again, I'm not sure this is the original creator of it. But I found two Pacific drawings of her, at least the original of it. Now, the first post is from Instagram account that basically you have two characters of the digital circus holding hands. That will be Ragatha and Ashley Jax. But the post says that she was sort of thinking about the digital circus. It feels to her is almost like a liminal space stuck in a sort of work office. But her pitch is basically they get punished or not making adventures, more just doing paperwork, but they don't know if they stop doing paperwork or doing the work, if they get punished or not. For example, Jack will be stuck in the office or the lunchroom just next to the coffee, drinking back and forth, pretending that he finished his work, that he doesn't want to do it. And you also have Ragatha trying to help everyone to finish their work while knowing if you get punished. That's sort of her pitch of her own AU, and this is the one who got inspired for the last one from Pick and Body, because it's still very different, because Pick and Body is more like a Japanese office, something like a Retsuko type of office AU, but instead of having Retsuko, you actually have the digital circus, not knowing do they get punished, do they get paid, or doing something. But she breaks it down later on her version of it. But there is a second post of the original office that will be that post back again Ragatha and Jax just standing up, being sort of entertained by themselves. According to the original creator, is that they're trying to be entertained in the AU because they do not have internet. For example, Ragatha trying to have a bunny tail to entertain herself during her spare time. Something that if this office doesn't have the internet, so you have to entertain sort of different ways by yourself. At least that is one part of her many parts in the later future. But of course, this is the only part she has right now during this day. So we don't know will be a second, third, or fourth part in the near future. But she sort of promised she tries to do more. But other than that was the original office. We are going to talk about the copycat because it's more well known and more popular. Now let's talk about the original copycat Pico, who actually explains what is the story-ish of her AU. Basically, her AU office is more like kind of like a Mexico means American office, but in Japanese work culture. But it's sort of work and misfire in other words, because she's still in the prototype stage, figuring out what works, what was not, but she has a very clear mind what this story could actually be. Especially, she actually has basically character designs and character profiles of each one and understanding the lore of her AU. Even that this AU, the main two leads maybe be Ragatha and Jax, because Pico is her favorite two main leads in this AU. She constantly draws them, so we expect those two becoming more front and center than any other character, but their dynamic is sort of kind of playful, hardworking, but yet very interesting because they sort of mean spirited to each other, but never tiring or basically offensive. It's just having fun with each other, pranking back and forth. And that's sort of what could be the main leads. Now, she does says she want to basically do a sort of manga chapter by chapter this specific AU. But the only problem is, once again, she does explain that it's going to take a little while to really figure out what she wants. For right now, she does have a few ideas that she sort of spelled out, asking some questions. For example, someone does ask that some of the IPs or some of the characters will appear, the ones who were dead, and also the PCs that be used by Caine who exist in this world. And Pico does explain, oh yes, all the characters do you love who are dead or basically PCs does exist. Sooner or later, they reappear with a different sort of kind of partnership worker kind of deal. Everything will be shown in the near future, but don't worry, everyone will appear of this AU. Another fan asked how Ragatha and Jax or some of the members join of this sort of office universe. And once again, she says, oh, everything makes sense when the time is right, but she have thought of everything, but for right now, she basically keep it a secret, but you could find out later on when she drop a first couple of chapters. And the final question is the fact when the fans do the gang hang out somewhere after the work office and say yes, Gooby Gear's Kaya. That's basically owned by Gummy Goo, who was basically a PC of the second episode, but was good friends with Pomni and always hang out. A fact, Pomni is a regular customer from Gummy Goo, even that she has a thing from them, but once more, you have the idea. They're still working on what this is, but you understand what's going on. Now, I'm going to talk about the characters in order, what will be shown each 7 days of each simple character, and what their sort of dynamics. Now, day 1 was actually Caine, and his profile basically says he is sort of the co-creator or co-owner of CN with his brother Abel. Of course, some of you are wondering who is Abel. Is a character made by fans that kind of blew up and ran away with the fans because Abel is sort of the poker face kind of character that come out of basically a digital fight club that kind of got popular and people started using Abel as his brother Caine, at least for right now. But other than that, Caine is actually 30, very enthusiastic, and very best to throw his own work, but he works a little bit too fast, so fast sometimes he says things he shouldn't. This is why you have her bestie co-worker or slash right-hand man, Pomni, who helps him out and calms him down and corrects him every single time she needs to correct him and control him. Of course, it doesn't mean Caine is not a fun, very enthusiastic, goofy person who always attempted to calm down the moment of the office, just try to relax everybody and do their work, do not stress them out. But this is the reason why Pomni reappears every time to stop doing that, because they are in the time limit. But you get sort of the idea of dynamic of Caine and Pomni. Of course, Caine is sort of have multiple cars that he use and also a driver when he needs him to drive him back to work. Even that he kind of forgets he does have a driver or cars, but once again, Caine is very enthusiastic, goofy, so that sort of makes sense. Now let's talk about the next character on the list. Now, a second character is basically Zooble. She's 22, and a guy in this version, how I reading this, that she or he or they is an accountant of CN. Of course, she only works there for a little while, but she usually, her spare time, is a tattoo artist who makes tattoos part-time, but she is very creative. Of course, she does do some drug influence to help her be creative, and Jax kind of likes that. In the fact, this is the reason why Jax and Zooble basically kind of understand each other. They have this sort of good vibe. Of course, a lot of ladies in the office really like Zooble, maybe because she is different, unique, and creative, but also have a car, not a car, a mess bed or mini motorcycle she drives to the office. Of course, she is very angry, upsetting, but if you get her trust, she would defend you and actually care about you if someone actually hurt you. In fact, she is basically very valuable in the team. But after that, that's all I can say. Now let's talk about the next character in the profile. Now, our next character is basically Gangle. Gangle is 26 years old and also an accountant in the CN office. She also actually takes care of the plants, is an anime fan and also an artist. She also have a slight crush of Zooble that she won't tell, but at the very end, she actually respects her and wants to be her. Of course, her mask breaks and it shows her true face of her depression, but every time her mask is her smile, that she actually wants up herself once again. Basically, she has her depression in sort of the office. But although that, interesting enough, she also take care of all the office and try to be a better better artist and showing Zooble what she can do. And Zooble supports her every time she sees an artist and trying to convince her to be even better artist in the near future. And that's basically what she does. She's basically the accountant who can take care of plants and maybe be gay. I'm not sure. This depends how you interpret it. But other than that, now let's talk about the next character in this roster. Now, our next character will be Kinger. He is actually age 48. He is the oldest member of the CN department of especially accounting. That he is basically kind of crazy, but it's not crazy because he's old. He's crazy because he has some trauma. But do not disrespect this man. This man is wise and intelligent because when the ship is down, he's the type of guy who stands up and show you the way. On top of all this, they're also the same guy who created the original kind of programming and CN. He's the one who understands all the tricks and hooks of the program, and everything went wrong, he can actually fix. Of course, he is deep friends with Ashley Ragatha with doing sort of kind of dad jokes every single time they actually meet. He also is very knowledgeable of bugs and other type of insects. Of course, he's a team member. If you want help, he will give you. Also, he's very compassionate and show you how compassion can actually help you become a better person. Of course, the man does drive a car. He also forgot Gangle. The only two characters do drive a car, Kinger and Gangle. I forgot what kind of car she drives, but you get the idea. Now, our next character is basically Jack. Now, Jack is basically a 22-year-old accountant who is part of the most intelligent and resourceful, but also the most lazy. That the guy tries to do every single trick and charm to convince other people to do his work so he can do less. In fact, he does 10 times the work to being lazy. In fact, nobody really knows about who he is or what he does. He's actually outside of work. In fact, he doesn't really have a car or vehicle he goes into. In fact, he just used a U-car to for a taxi to drop him to point A and to point B. And the fact he has low-key relationship with Ragatha, but we don't know if they're actually dating or low-key dating. But we do know he is the group's trickster, likes to especially prank Ragatha and Pomni. But actually, this is the only way to tell them how much they care about them, his own unique way. Especially Ragatha, that's the only one who knows who he is. At least that's what you assume, but we don't know if she really knows who he really is. Of course, he also have a sweet tooth of Jack that if you go into his office, the only thing you see is basically candy bars and power drinks. If I have to guess, this is the reason why he's super energetic, super charming, because he's always have energy to spare. And I think this is the reason why he cannot stop eating sweets, just to be continually energetic and charming. And that's basically what is Jax in this AU. In fact, this becomes more interesting that he doesn't want to share his backstory or share anything, but it's up to you, your interpretation. Maybe because he's scared to be open, scared to be weak. I don't know you. It sounds like a regular guy who trying to be the man Studley type who is very sensitive, maybe? I don't know. It depends on you. Believe me, there's a lot of guys who push away to not really open. This is a true thing. But other than that, let's talk about the next character on the roster. Now let's talk about Pomni of this AU, that she's 25 years old and the accountant, but the right-hand man of Caine. That she's sort of soft-spoken, but yet shy, but at the same time energetic. But at the same time, you never stop seeing her with a cup of coffee because she's always fighting off her insomnia, unable to actually fall asleep. But she is a good leadership and have a lot of common sense doing her work because her number crunching and her tricks to understand how to download sort of issues easily solve her problems. This is why she got promoted to a right-hand man of Caine. Every time Caine put a foot in his mouth, she's the one who quickly fix the things up really fast. In fact, it's one of those characters, if you talk to her, she's very awkward and strange that cannot really execute a conversation the right way without sounding kind of awkward or weird. But push comes to pressure, she becomes a sort of a Chad. She automatically takes charge and fixes the issue. This is the reason why she is very liked and also trusted in the company. And also, she doesn't have a car. For some reason, she prefer using the train or bus to get to work without buying a car, even that she's paid well. I'm guessing she doesn't like to drive or use taxis. But other than that, instead of your opinion, what do you think why she does not have a car or a vehicle? She just prefer using trains. But to be truthful, I see this type of character lots of different workplaces. That the kind of workaholic who always drinks coffee non-stop and kind of awkward, but also a great leader. Yeah, you see this once every couple of workplaces. But once again, I think she's probably the most relatable because how awkward she is. But I don't know, you like this version, you like this sort of kind of awkward but yet very confident push kind of shove type of scenario. Tell me down below, let me know. Now let's talk about the final character of this list. Now Ragatha is basically the same character you think in this, but you have more detail. That Ragatha here is sturdy, she's the accountant, and basically the work darling of the whole group. She's very positive and have that vibe of mama or sister vibe who take care of you and always is tempted to make you happy. But the only problem is she feels sort of useless. Even that she's very resourceful and help many people when they need, she feels if she does not do this, she'd be completely useless. She kind of faced sort of a fake kind of mentality that she feels she's only useful or make people happy is because of her skills, and that's it. Remove the skills, she feels completely useless. She always had this sort of dread behind her mind, wondering if she quit her job or become something else, people still like her or not. But of course, every time she does, she has a smile on her face because she never removed that smile off her. She never let go of her depression, especially her best friend Pomni, who always helps us out her emotions and her what she's feeling in the moment. Even telling Pomni her deep dark secret is the fact she has a small crush of Jack. Of course, that's basically it. That she is very resourceful, but she's very similar to the original Ragatha, but more in depth. You also understand why she's kind, because the original Ragatha trying to be kind because maybe she feels useless while being kind. But once more, it's all about your interpretation. But other than that, that's basically all the rosters. I did enjoy every single one of them and sort of the interesting dynamic what they use and the reason why some of them work with others. Now, my conclusion of this is pretty great because it feels like more Mexico or more American Office or the UA Office if you actually enjoyed the original UK version of The Office. But for me, it's still more basically reticle words. But other than that, I did enjoy all the art and designs. I think the reason why this version AVU got popular is sort of the art style. People really attract of all the different techniques and shapes they use for this type of characters. It also kind of give more hope for fans who like the other side characters and want to see more. This AU does extend even more because they are gonna come out in the near future, whatever that's done, especially the manga that the creator trying to do. But the very end is everything is sort of patience and wait to see if funny come out. I did really enjoy everything. Also enjoyed the little comic books here and there, trying to understand how the dynamic really works and how each character does. Even that is just a very little, basically more focused on Ragatha and Jax. If you like that Pacific shipping, this is basically for you. If not, you wait to see what else they come out in the near future. But other than that, did you hear of the original or the copycat of The Office? Tell me down below, let me know. And also recommend me more AUs that you think is sort of interesting to talk about. Tell me down below, let me know. I got nothing else to say, just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.